Week 29, and it is the second taper week. I'm beginning to feel a little fresher. Today is my last long run. It's all relative. This is my shortest long run of my 30-week training plan. Next week's long run is going to be ever so slightly longer, or hopefully around 170 kilometers. But this week it's just an hour and 15 minutes or so. I'm going to go uphill for about 45 minutes and then easy back down. I'm going to drive up to the local col, so I'm going to be starting about 1750 meters. Because it's been a few weeks now since I was up at any altitude, so just going to go up there, but very easy, especially on the descent, to save the quads. And most of this week's been around prepping. A couple of changes just to quickly mention. My trusty black diamond poles have become completely stuck, so I've tried a number of different techniques and approaches to try and get them to open up. The buttons were getting stiffer and stiffer. I was cleaning them, but they were quite tough. But then this middle section and the bottom section are just completely locked on, which wasn't great. Looked at loads of stuff online, tried a number of different techniques, but not really much success, and it's not giving me any confidence in race week. So I got a new pair of poles, which I need to try out today. Then ultimately I'll make a decision as to what I prefer. But yeah, new set of poles. And also priority mail from the US. Hot Shot. They are designed for if you cramp. They've got a concoction in here, and there's some research to suggest that they may help if you start cramping or at the onset of cramp. So I got a few bottles of that to take with me, and also leave one in my drop bag, essentially because in the past I have had cramp issues, so I'm willing to try that out. As I said, research is out there. There is some which suggests that it could help, so therefore it was strong enough evidence for me to at least warrant buying a couple of bottles. It's not that heavy, so I'll carry one, and hopefully it's one of those products which you never need to use, but we shall see. Right, gonna go out and get ready and go for my run. Just arrived up at the col, and seems to be some astronomers. This is a dark sky area, so there's some fancy telescopes and stuff. Yeah, just gonna head off testing out the poles. 45 minutes uphill and then just an easy run back. About half an hour into the run now, and it's quite cool being up here. This was one of my first runs up at altitude, and I was looking at all the mountains hoping to get up them one day, and now 29 weeks later I've been to the summit of most of them, and it's been quite an incredible journey just getting to this point. Cue some cheesy harp music and wavy lines across the screen. I'm going to have to do that now, aren't I? Friday the 1st of February, and if my calculations are correct, it is 30 weeks to UTMB. That's 45 minutes, just about done. So I'm going to turn around and head back down and run today. It's just been about getting the legs working a little bit, but nothing too hard. Climbed about 500 meters, 600 meters, something like that, in 45 minutes. So up at
2,320. It's reasonable elevation. It's not dissimilar to some of the calls at UTMB. Feeling good. Still the odd bit of tightness in the legs. The calf issue, which I mentioned weeks ago, still isn't quite 100%. Right hamstring isn't 100%, but I'm sure they'll be fine to get me through. And also I've got another few days of taking it very easy to let them recover a bit more. One of the other things I've done, preparation and testing out today, is adjusted my watch settings, so it's on a 50-hour battery life now, which means it should get me through in one go. And I've tweaked my watch screens slightly, so I've now got less of them to scroll through and put less information per screen, so that when I glance down I'm just getting the most important information to me, and it's easier to see because it's a larger font. One of these things, if you're scrolling through 4 or 5 screens versus 2, can make quite a big difference over that amount of time looking down, and chances of tripping or something like that. And also there can be too much information. So I've got on one screen total distance, total time, and current altitude, and then on the other one I've got some information like average speed to help with my pacing. I did a video on pacing, link to that up there, and then also the actual time of day, just to help with me to know when cut-offs and things like that are, and one or two other bits and pieces, but nothing that important. But I won't really be looking at the screen very often. This run done. Feeling okay, nice and easy, very easy on the descent as well. So that's probably the last run I'll do on any kind of significant trails before a race. And yeah, not too bad. Never feel great on these last few runs. Every tiniest little pain becomes a major issue, which I see as a positive sign now, having been through many tapers, knowing that that will happen.
The long run rounded out my week, and as you can see, it wasn't a particularly big week, only just about 40 kilometers and 1500 meters of climbing, but my legs are feeling a lot better than they did at the start of it, which is what the intention is. And with it being such a short week, you can see that reflected also in the training stress score, and then overall fatigue levels as well, which you can see. So ultimately it's going into the race well rested, but not over rested, if that makes sense. So next week there will still be a couple of runs in there, but ultimately I was really hoping to get my legs feeling really nice and fresh. And that run that I did on Saturday really was quite a confidence boost. There was a segment on there and I was about 4 minutes quicker than I was previously, and the heart rate was a lot lower. Now I had less stuff with me, and depending on the run that I'd done previously, different starting points and things like that would obviously impact that, but ultimately it shows that legs are in a good place when I did that run, which is fantastic. But overall happy with how the legs are feeling and where I am, and it's about now just trying to maintain that, keeping a bit of freshness in the legs ready for race week. Race week itself will be the travel to Chamonix and then all the registration, things like that. I'm also volunteering in a medical survey, which I've got to go and do some tests for as well, so that's going to be quite interesting. So I've got that as well on top of everything else which is going on, but I wanted to volunteer to do that for a research group which specialise in looking at endurance athletes and the impact that ultramarathons and things like that have on the human body, so doing some stuff before and then after the race. But so far, the journey to get to this point has been absolutely amazing. I'd also like to extend a thank you to all the people who have watched, all of you guys, and all the support that you've shown me. I've really appreciated it. And I'm going to be very much using that as part of my motivation to keep going when the times get tough during the race. So obviously going on camera, documenting the journey is quite a big thing to do when you're kind of putting everything out there, but I've been open and honest when I've had injuries and troubles and things like that, which has kind of impacted the training, and there's still the odd thing which isn't quite 100%, but I'm taking the mindset that I used to when I played rugby, that if you went into a match about 90% fit, then that's the best you probably ever feel. So ultimately that's where I am, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you've been enjoying these videos, and give this a thumbs up. Also check out TMR Coaching on social media and the TMR Coaching newsletter, and that's just a weekly newsletter that I send out with top training tips and advice. I'll also put a link to my tracker and number at next week's video, so I'll be publishing that before the race. So again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, and hit the bell notification. And again, just once again, thanks very much for your support and for watching the videos and supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.